From my Feng Shui practice, I know that many people are looking for help with improving their existing relationship or with finding her ideal partner, finding love. Of course, I can give you many suggestions how you can organize your space uh, to support you in this your desire. And in fact, you can find a video about it on my YouTube channel. But in this video, I invited a guest. It's Francesca Pedone. She's therapist, shamanic healer, and energy love coach, and we are going to talk about the inner work, inner feng shui. So let's do that. Hi, Francesca.
Hi, Slavomira.
I'm
Thank you
so
for
glad.
having
Yes.
me here. I'm really happy to be here.
Yes, so let's talk about love, about relationship, because this is your topic. You are expert on this theme, and so just please try to tell why so many people is struggling with finding love.
Um, I think that nowadays love has become quite a difficult thing. I mean, if you think back like 50 years ago or 100 years ago, women didn't have much choice. They got married, they had children, they were together with their husband until they died, and that was it. And they never questioned whether they were happy or not happy, whether this was what they wanted or not. But nowadays, conscious women want more. So nowadays, for many women, it's not anymore just about being with somebody. It's not anymore just, a question of survival, that getting together for survival. Women, they want to experience like a deep soul connection. They want to have a common vision with their partner. They want to have things in common, and they want to feel like this flame of love alive. And that's why the theme of love has become much more difficult than it was like 50 years ago.
And what we can do, how we can just do something differently, how we can find our soulmate, what we can do.
Yeah, well, you see, I believe that before you're able to find, like, to attract a soulmate, to attract somebody on with whom you really have a really happy and harmonious relationship, you need to be the soulmate, the kind of soulmate that you are looking for and that would want to be with you. What I believe is that we have to start with ourselves first, healing the relationship with ourselves, and then the relationships with other people around us will change, they will improve.
Yes, this is also my experience from my practice as a feng shui practitioner. I know that this is true because I work with so many clients, and I know that if you want harmonious relationship, changing an arrangement it's not enough. You need to work on yourself, and just everyone needs to do his part or her part in this relationship.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And it's very important what you say, that everyone, like every party, if you have a couple, for example, every party should do something in order to, like clear themselves, improve themselves, and improve the relationship. Sometimes it's only one partner does something, works on herself. It might have a repercussion on the relation, a positive, like a positive effect on the relationship, but sometimes it's not enough. It depends on the situation, it depends on the people, it depends on many things. So it might be enough just to work on yourself to, let's say, save your marriage, but it might also not be enough. So you really have to see who is it and what the situation is and so on, and how big are the problems between the partners.
But it always has like a positive impact to work on yourself.
Yeah, it has always definitely a positive impact for yourself, because what you do when you start working on yourself, you realize that before you can love somebody, you need to love yourself. So you learn to love yourself in the right way, not in the wrong way. The wrong way to love yourself is maybe to eat chocolate every day, or to buy lots of shoes. This would be I mean, it's nice to eat chocolate and it's nice to buy shoes, but if it becomes like an addiction, it's not good for you anymore. So loving yourself means improving your relationship with yourself and with all the parts that we have inside of ourselves, because we have inside of ourselves a whole family. We have little children, we have teenagers, we have adults parts, we have managers, we have rebels, we have, we have many parts, and sometimes these parts are in conflict with each other. So like one part wants this and the other part is afraid of it, so they fight with each other, and this polarity, they create a polarity. And when you are caught in a polarity like that, what you do, you go from one to the other. So one moment the one part is stronger and then you want to do this, and the next moment the other part is stronger, so you want to do this, and all you do is going from one to the other and lose a lot of energy and lose a lot of time, and you don't make any improvement. You are just stuck. But when you know your inner family, and when you learn to give a voice to these parts, then you also learn to sort of bring a balance between them. And once you have a balance inside of you, okay, it will be easier. So you will experience more harmony inside of you, more peacefulness inside of you. You take it outside, into the outside with your partner. So you are more peaceful with your partner, you are more peaceful with your friends, with your children, with your colleagues, with everybody.
So at first you need to create this harmony within your inner family before you can like create harmony in your real family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can talk about this experience we had together, because I know that you have this gift, like you can intuitively connect with these inner parts of people, and it was really amazing experience to listen how you can give a voice to these different parts. And it was so helpful for me to listen from someone else these dialogues, like inner dialogues. Before it was just voices in my head, and yes, I was stuck before, because in one moment I wanted to do this, and another moment I was like, oh, no. So it was really helpful, and I can tell that it helped me to create more harmony within me, and just move on and understand what I want to do and how to proceed. And can you tell us more about how to understand these your parts?
We have different parts. A really important one is the inner child. And so you can start with the inner child by creating a contact with your inner child. And what you can do is you can take a teddy bear, okay, and this teddy bear, let's say this teddy bear symbolizes your inner child. And then you can take another figure like a puppet or something, another one. And you can play, like children play theater very often, yeah, and you play theater as well, like a child, if you were a child. And like the puppet symbolizing the adult asks questions to the child, and the child answers. And you don't have to think very much about it. Just play with it, just let it flow and see what comes out. And basically what you need to do to create this connection is to find out how this child is doing, what the child is feeling, what it needs, how the child is feeling in a certain situation. So you can ask questions like, what are you feeling? Or what do you need in this moment? Um, do you like it in the job that I'm doing? Or are you happy in the marriage? Yeah, you can ask this kind of question and find out how this part of you responds to a situation in which you are, that you are living right now. And all, all you have to do is I can actually listen to the child, so that this child knows, this part of you knows, yes, I am seen, what I have to say is important, my feelings are important, there is somebody who wants to know what I need. Yeah, because very often these parts feel unseen, unheard, they feel not important, and so on, and giving this part of you like the feeling, yeah, there is somebody who is really interested in me. This is really a very good start. And you can just try, you can just play and try how it works.
Can you give us some example of how it is when this inner child is not seen, and then in some situations this is a problem? So some tangible example, how could
Mm-hmm.
it look like?
Yeah. So let's say, for example, you are in a partnership. If we take a partnership now, you are in a partnership, and we usually find a partner who is quite like one of our parents. And we usually attract a partner who is like the parent with whom we have some unresolved problem. So your partner criticizes, okay? And as it happens, you probably were criticized by your mother or your father as a child very often. So that means there is a part in you, a young part in you, that is hurt by this criticism. And every time your partner criticizes you, um, the the adult part of you steps back, and the hurt child, the child was still in this story. I'm not good enough, people always criticize me, and so on, jumps to the forefront. And in that moment, who reacts? I mean, it suits your body and it's your voice, but who actually reacts in that moment is not your adult self, it's this child, this hurt child. And then you start doing, you get very emotional and you start doing things, maybe the things you used to do in the past, or the things you couldn't do in the past, like banging doors, or running out, or whatever. Okay, eating, drinking, all sorts of things that we do in order, when this pain comes up again, because the criticism triggers this old pain. And then it could be that when you think about your reaction a couple of hours later, or even an hour later, you don't understand yourself why you reacted like that. And you think, why did I react like that? It wasn't actually, I mean, in the best case, you don't understand why you reacted like that, and you recognize that it was exaggerated in the best case. But in the worst case, you are stuck for quite a while in that hurt, in that pain, and it's very difficult to come out of it. But in that moment, when you are triggered, when your pain is triggered, you don't have control on your reactions, and you don't have control of yourself. So you do things, you react in ways very often very exaggerated ways. I don't know. Can you relate to that? Do you know that?
Yes, sure. Sure, and I can understand that many like fights in a relationship is just, it doesn't make sense. These are not so like great things, and these emotions, it's like unlogical. But yes, I can understand that this could be a thing. So you mentioned that okay, we need to pay attention or give a voice to this wounded child. So uh, first thing is to recognize that we are reacting just from this place,
Mm-hmm.
and what's next?
Yeah. So when you react like that and you reflect about it later, yeah, then you can ask yourself, okay, who was reacting? Yeah, who was speaking in that moment? What part of me was speaking in that moment? So this is the first step to recognize, that it wasn't your adult self, but it was a different part, a younger part. And then the healing actually takes place when the the adult self in you gets in contact with the child, with the young self, and creates this connection, and asks the child, what's going on? What are you feeling? What do you need? What's going on with you? You know, and tries to find out why the child reacted in the way that he did. And there is not really anything to change. The fact that the child feels seen by the other part of you is enough for this healing to take place. So, but it's quite, it's like an exercise you have to do again and again and again, because it's not enough to do it once. Sometimes, you have to do it for quite a long time in order to be able to soothe, so you can soothe the pain of the child. This is in the best case when you are able to sort of get in contact with your inner parts on your own. But very often it's so that these inner children we have, these inner parts, the hurt parts that are still stuck in the old stories and still stuck in the pain of the past, they are, it's so painful, you know, for them, that they jump out in the reaction, but it's impossible for you to actually connect with them, because what they do as soon as the situation is finished, they hide. They go back again in the unconscious, and they hide, and they usually have like some parts that protect them, that don't want anybody to approach them. They are trying to avoid that too much pain is triggered, because in some cases, depending on the situations, on the experiences you had as a child, sometimes the pain that can be triggered is so big that, like there is, it can be like a flood, like an inundation, like an earthquake. There is the risk that you're not able to have anything under control anymore. So that means that if an inner child as a protector, it's very difficult to get in contact with the child, because first of all you have to deal with the protector and find out what is doing there and what his function is, and sort of you have to negotiate with the protector before you can actually access to the child.
Yes,
Okay.
so probably sometimes it's better to reach out and just get a help
Yeah,
with
it
that.
is better because with the help of a specialist, so somebody like me, for example, I can I can guide you step by step in discovering your inner world, but in such a way that it's not too much. That there is no flood, no earthquake, like little by little. Okay, because you have to be very careful when you're going to inner world. It has to be done with a lot of patience, and it needs time, and it also needs know-how how to do it.
Yes, and in your case, you have many certifications, but I know about you that you are very intuitive, so you can see how much the person can bear in that moment. So this is
Yeah,
also important, I think,
that's very
to
important. Yeah.
recognize that.
And also, so what I do, I also work with a shamanic technique that is called Fogo Sagrado, which means the sacred fire. And with this technique, it's possible. So I go on this journey on behalf of the client. So it's not the client who has to go through this journey of discovery, but I do it for them. Okay, so that for them it's like watching a play or watching a film, and the protagonist, like the main person, is they are the main person and it's their story, but it's just like, you know, they watch it from a distance. So they feel emotions, but the emotions are not so strong that they can't handle them. Okay. So it's like me going through through these waves on behalf of them, and releasing like the emotions and, you know, all the things that have to be released for them. This is what I did with you as well. Yeah. And this is very, very powerful because it's a mild way of clearing things, of clearing old stories, of finding out, discovering negative beliefs and discovering old stories and changing them and transforming them.
Yes, and can you share where people can find you?
I have a homepage which is www. I have to read it because I don't
No,
have it
I
in
can
mind.
put it in
And you can
subscription.
also
Yes.
write it anyway. fb-lovewins.de. And when you go to that page, then on the first page, on the home, you will find the things that are going on that I'm offering currently. And at the moment, I'm offering a healing circle. So I'm giving a healing circle on August the 18th. Yeah, on August the 18th. And I have to read it because I just wrote it this morning, so I don't have it in mind. And the topic of this healing circle is releasing blocks to love with the sacred fire, so with the Fogo Sagrado. It's going to be a group, and I'm going to work with the group with different parts of, you know, each person in the group, and it's going to be really, really interesting and really
So, what
powerful.
is expecting result?
The result, well, you see, when you do shamanic work, you can't really say in advance what is the result going to do. So what Fogo Sagrado works, helps you realize the desire and the path of your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we often don't know what the path of our soul is. Okay. But whatever happens after a session, is that what the universe does for you? You know, is that what you need, what your soul needs? Okay, so it's not like mathematics that you say you put 1 plus 1 is equal to. So it's not, it doesn't work like that. It works, you know, it's soul work, and soul work clears things, but you can't really say in advance how the result is going to be. So the topic is going clearing blocks to love. So there will be a change for the people in that circle. There will be a change to that, and most people, I say maybe 99% of the people who experience this work experience something positive and experience a change. But how this change exactly will look like for each one of them is not possible to say it
Yes, but
in
in
advance.
any case, it will be some positive change, because with this connection with soul, so you can find what just you need in the
Yeah.
moment, just clear your blocks.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it opens the path of your soul, the path that your soul has decided to go in this life. So maybe you can say, what was the result of the session I had with you?
Yes, I was able to move and to decide, because I had two parts and I didn't know, should I do this or should I wait, or what should I do, and it was, yes, it was really
So you were stuck,
annoying.
yeah? You
Yes,
were stuck.
I was stuck, and it cost me a lot of energy. So then I was able to finally find inner peace, like, okay, it's everything okay, and I'm going to do this, and it's completely okay for me. And now I know that this is the best, like, direction to go, and I just stop this fight and these voices. And I also got a mantra, so when I again, because it's not like you can be healed in one moment, so I can observe from time to time that it's here again. So, no, 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 I have my mantra. Okay, and so it was really helpful,
Yeah,
yes, for
so
me.
this is like one possible
Yes,
result
this is
that
a
you can
result, so
get.
you can
Mm-hmm.
find out what's your direction,
Mm-hmm.
and just have like more peace deep inside and more energy to live and to move to the right direction. Yes, I can strongly recommend to work with
Okay.
Francesca. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course, everybody experiences that in a different way because everybody has got a different block or a different issue, but the result is always positive. It always brings a positive change into people's life.
Okay. So thank you very much. It was really full of important information, because this is what I also believe, that we just need to do this inner work. So even if I'm working with the energy outside in our space, I know from my experience that you need to do also inner feng shui, just move your inner environment. So I believe it was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, and yeah, it was a pleasure to be here to talk to you. And yeah, as I said, on August the 18th, there is a healing circle. And if you go to my page, fp-lovewin.de, you will find the information and also how to sign up.
Okay, and if you want to see more videos, so you can subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye bye.